Well guys, I finally saw it. This video is gonna be for all of the people that are leaving comments on my videos in typical Call of Duty cycle fashion telling me,
"You haven't even played the game, Dev. How do you know it's gonna be bad? You're just a hater. You haven't even played it yet. You haven't even seen any gameplay and you're already talking shit."
Well, here I am post Black Ops 6 gameplay. There was a PS4/beta build leaked online yesterday that basically showed us everything the build has to offer. And although I'm not really sure how far in development this build is, if I were a guessing man, I would probably guess that this is more than likely the build we're going to be getting for the beta. And can you guys guess what my mindset and stance is on this entire situation, right? I'm still sitting here talking a bunch of shit. You know why? Because my initial impressions for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is the fact that I think this game is going to be painfully mid. And if I'm being completely honest with what I saw over the last 24 hours regarding Black Ops 6 gameplay, I think this game looks painfully mid. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt. My opinion is not, the almighty word. Opinions are subjective, and you might think that this is good, but I don't find anything impressive with looking at a Black Ops Cold War clone that looks like it was ported into the motherfucking IW engine, the MW modern engine. It looks like Cold War was ported into Modern Warfare 3's engine. Now, of course, there's pros and cons when it comes to anything here on the internet and anything regarding gaming in general. And I have a few things here that I want to talk about. So we're going to start off with the good things I saw regarding Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And the first one here is the map list. Now, of course, take this all with a grain of salt. Everything is subject to change. We don't really know if this is going to be, the full launch map list, etc., etc. And we don't know if all of these maps include, 6v6, because there's also that strike mode, the 2v2, etc., etc. But there seems to be, when it comes to an entire map pool in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, there appears to be 20 maps at launch. If you're asking me, this is a huge W, but the only reason why it's a huge W, guys, to be completely honest with you, is because we've been starved of actual content and maps over the last 5 years. I think the only game we've gotten with a decent map pool was actually MW3 this year, and that was just a big shit show of remastered Modern Warfare 2 maps, so we can't really give them too much credit there because, let's be honest, they just ported everything over from the OG MW2. But let's just start off with this Modern Warzone tweet. So it says, breaking, potential leaked map list for Black Ops 6. 1, Vorkuta Mine. 2, Vorkuta. 3, Catacomb. Flat, Dig, Babylon, Train Graveyard, Russian Base, Socotra 2, Hacienda Alt, which this might be, a little bit of a callback to Hacienda from Black Ops 4. Strip Mall, Red Card, Firing Range 2, which apparently is a remaster of Firing Range from Black Ops 1. If this comes back, it's a huge W. We got Veiled, Canals, Island, Pillage, Radar, Stealth, and of course, Nuketown. We can't forget Nuketown. Nuketown is in every single Treyarch Call of Duty game. So yeah, when I'm sitting there talking about the good, what if I told you that this is kind of where the good ends? The map pool looks good, but from what I saw, you had Tac Sprint that looked extremely similar to Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. You had the entire Omni movement system, which I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, and I'm just going to, make a little prediction right here. Omni movement is not going to be all it cracked up to be. It's probably going to be a gimmicky feature based on what I've seen. If they don't change it around for full release, as it sits in the beta version right now, it doesn't really look much better than current movement that we have today. So they're going to force us to use that Omni movement thing, and I'm not really sure if the community is really going to be rocking with it. Now, of course, all of these things can be found on Twitter. Just search up Black Ops 6 leaked gameplay. They're DMCAing stuff pretty quickly here on Twitter, so if you guys want to get to it, I highly suggest after watching this video, just go on Twitter and look it up. But like I said, the good kind of ends here. This is where I was like, okay, a lot of this stuff is good, and then I started seeing the bad, right? Now, before I get into the bad, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear. I want to read a tweet here from the Ghost of Hope, and I don't usually agree with the Ghost of Hope too often, but I really do agree with this take. And he said, if it isn't obvious already by the way the stuff is leaking, it's the beta build for Black Ops 6. This is what we will be playing in 3 weeks. And yes, I 100% agree, and there's going to be people that come to this video and leave comments and say, it's just a beta build, you got to give them a break, it's just a beta. Well, we all know how Call of Duty betas work. This is going to be what we get at beta, and then they're going to add a few things, the extra guns, the extra maps, whatever, and they're going to release it full, and that is going to be the game. So if you don't like what you're seeing mechanically from Black Ops 6 right now in the PS4 version, sure, the PS5 version will look better, the PC version, the next gen console version will look better, but let's not forget, if you put a dress on a pig, it's still a fucking pig. So if we're going to sit here and say say that Black Ops 6 looks like shit mechanically, that somehow PlayStation 5 is gonna make that game any better, keep living in Deluluville. I'm just being completely honest with you. But yeah, with that little thing out of the way, let's get into the bad. So the bad regarding Black Ops 6, and there's a few things here that I really want to go over. Two things in particular that really grind my gears, and it's bothered me for the god knows how long. I'll probably say the last 5 years with Call of Duty. And that's the fact that they add these stupid things to the game that just appeal to shit players, or just gimmicky stuff that doesn't make any sense and just makes the game more complicated for no reason. So the first thing we want to go over here, and this does include a picture from Black Ops 6, so hopefully I don't get DMCA'd, but anyways, it says mounting is still a feature in Black Ops 6. Source, today's leaked gameplay. So of course, they gotta add mounting back to the game. People don't seem to realize what my issue or my gripe is with mounting, but if you mount your weapon on something and you're able to get beam level recoil with absolutely no recoil whatsoever, it shoots 100% straight because you pressed R3 to mount on the edge of something. That is a load of bullshit, and a lot of people get kills with the mounting feature when they shouldn't. If they tried that gunfight without mounting, they would get absolutely shit on. So there's L number 1, right? Mounting. Then there's L number 2, and this kind of just makes me wonder, like, what the fuck they're thinking over at Treyarch, because this just sounds god-awful. It really does. It sounds god-awful. Now, I don't know how this is going to be implemented. I don't really know how this is going to work, but this specific thing sounds like absolute dog shit. And I don't even care if you're somebody who thinks my videos are stupid or whatever. If you've made it this far into the video, I'm pretty sure you're gonna agree with me that this is a gimmicky dumbass feature that doesn't belong in the multiplayer whatsoever. So this is from Detonated, and he says, hashtag Black Ops 6 leaked sleeper agent field upgrade turns you into an enemy. Infiltrate the enemy team and appear as friendly for a short duration. Kills extend time. Now let that sink in for a second. There is a fucking field upgrade, which I'm assuming if field upgrades work like they did in previous Call of Duty titles, it's a field upgrade that charges throughout the match, and then you press a button and it gives you said upgrade, right? So you're telling me you could go from an enemy player to a friendly player on their screen. Now, of course, I'm sure if you shoot them or whatever, that will deactivate this field upgrade and they'll realize you're an enemy. But why the fuck is this here in the first place? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why this is in the game, and this is by far one of the cringiest things I've ever seen in a Call of Duty game. And I've always been a big defender of Treyarch and think that their game design decisions are great for the most part. Now, there's things like Black Ops Cold War, of course, with the, non-resetting streaks. Anybody that's bad can die 500 times in a match. As long as they get 20, 30 kills, they get that kill streak. That's one of the things that I was just kind of like shaking my head over when I played Cold War. But this right here, it might take the cake. I don't think it's as bad as an entire game-wide, system like the kill streaks in Cold War, where you're just gonna get, streaks with dying a million times. It doesn't matter, they never reset. I don't think it's on that level of bad, but this is really fucking terrible. Like, I don't understand why this is in the game. As a long time Call of Duty player, I could see this just bringing a shitload of problems to the game, at least from a public match perspective. I'm sure cheesy shit like this will be banned from competitive, but as it goes for anything else that is leaked for this game, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I don't have access to any of this stuff, and I'm not really gonna be risking showing any of this stuff on screen simply because I could be setting myself up for a DMCA. But as it stands for the entirety of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer, I didn't see anything there that looked like it impressed me. And in short, if I'm being completely honest with you, this game from a looks perspective currently looks like Black Ops Cold War had a baby with Modern Warfare 3. And if you ask me, that's a huge L for the Call of Duty series. I suppose we'll see how this works in practice with the beta releasing and the full release of the game, but don't hold your breath for this to be, the 4 years of development, this is gonna be the most advanced, greatest Call of Duty ever. Really do not hold your breath for that, because I've seen this trend over the last 5 years. They did the same shit with Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. Everybody that was looking at Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, the community was crying from the rooftops about the fact that you haven't even played the game yet. How do you know it's gonna be bad? Yada, yada, yada. And then the game released, and we all see how that turned out. So that's some food for thought for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on so you never miss when I upload a video. And I'll catch everybody in the next one. Peace.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little